Okay, it's a couple minutes past the hour. I think we'll get started. Welcome all to NPAC's Power BI informational webinar. My name is Amy Strom, the Director of Client Success, and today we're going to be talking about Power BI and what this means to you, our clients. I've been in your shoes. I've been in the nonprofit technology space for over 30 years, with many of them at a community foundation, working with NPAC, formerly Fusion Labs, Blackbaud, and of course, SSRS reports. I've even hired a report writer just to have the flexibility to generate the reports the foundation needed. I remember exporting data, using Microsoft Query, really anything to get the data points we needed. I'm so excited that NPAC's new owners want to give you access to your own data, to use it however it can be most useful and helpful. I think you'll be excited too. Let's dive in. Oh, a couple of housekeeping notes. This session will be recorded and we will make it available on our knowledge base. And if you have questions, please use the Q&A within Zoom. For our agenda, we will be covering how this reporting will give you access to your data and talk about the transition, why we are doing this, and the timeline for the transition. We will also talk about what is Power BI, explain what it does, how it's a modern reporting system, and what it has the capability to do. You will get to see Power BI with GE NXT. My colleague Mark will show visualizations of what type of information Power BI will be giving GE NXT customers. I will also cover next steps, timeline, and pricing. So let's get started. So what are we doing and why? Here at NPAC, we are upgrading our integrated reporting tool to use Power BI. Microsoft will eventually sunset SQL Server Reporting Services, SSRS, and replace it with Power BI. We're preparing you for that shift. Power BI will be integrated with NPAC's GE NXT web application by this summer. We are developing both holistic data visualizations as well as paginated reports in Power BI. You are not immediately losing your existing SSRS reports. We will work with you to convert your custom reports to Power BI. You'll be able to report on all the data in GE, including all the Spectrum and financial and CRM data points that are pulled into GE. It will be your own data and reporting platform. Additionally, we'll plan to develop Spectrum and Endowment Manager to include Power BI functionality as well. So what is Power BI? Power BI is the industry's leading data visualization and reporting tool, allowing us to provide interactive data so that you can report on different aspects of your organization with the click of a button. You will be able to analyze, share, and promote your data insights across your organization, all while maintaining your accuracy, consistency, and security. This tool is highly customizable and flexible. To get you started, we have created templates that will come with this enhancement as out-of-the-box functionality. You will be able to quickly see your highest performing funds, top recipients, and the impact your funds are having on your most valued interest areas. Along with being flexible and configurable, Power BI is very responsive. With its advanced security, you can set permissions and monitor access, all while keeping your data safe. The following visual is an example of some of the reports we will provide as out-of-the-box functionality. You will be able to set the parameters that have impactful meaning to you so that you can share them with your board, staff, and community. These data visuals are interactive, as you will see in our demonstration. I'd like to introduce one of our developers on this project, Mark Tuttle, who will walk us through this enhancement. Take it away, Mark.
Hi, thanks, Amy. I'm Mark, and I'm going to give you a tour of some of the main day-to-day functionality of Power BI. There are a lot of out-of-the-box visualizations that come with Power BI that you'll be able to use to customize your reports. Let me get my screen shared real quick for everybody. So depending on user roles that are set up in your organization, this screen might look a little bit different when you see it. There might be fewer panels and filters and things available. But pretty much the main report is here in this window here, and there are several pages to this report. Let's jump right in and look at the first tab, Funds and Gifts. So one of the first things you'll notice is that the page has a lot of colorful graphs. I want to stress that these colors right now are using the impact theme that we've created, but you can easily customize the colors to your own organization's colors and themes, however you want. And then each graph on each page can then further be customized with colors if you need different colors, like maybe red and greens for positive and negative results. Let's take a look at what we have here. First, we'll notice we have a little summary of some information called a measure, which is being displayed on a card here, showing how many unique fund advisors are in this organization. You'll also see 3 standard graphs here. You'll see a pie chart and 2 bar charts, but also there's this chart here in the middle called a slicer. What this does is it allows you to provide a prominent filter on a page, and that filter can then affect one visual like it is here, or it can be set up to work with all the graphs on one page or even across different pages. Let's move on to the next page to talk more about filtering. So on each visual that you create on a report page, there are different filters available. We can open up the filters pane here. And for instance, let's say we want to not see the entire data set. Let's say we just want to look at information from the past year. We can easily filter that here and see how it instantly changes. When we get done with our analysis, we turn it back. And then there are also filters that can be applied to groups of visualizations. So in this instance, the grants are grouped together and the online grants are grouped together. So if we filter out grant types right here, you'll notice that the 2 left visuals change accordingly. Likewise, we can do the same with the online grants and go back. So there are also 2 measures at the top of this page. Earlier, we saw a simple measure, and measures are just quick summaries of data, such as sums, averages, but can also be more complicated, such as here, where we've taken the average time it takes for a grant to be requested and then go all the way through the processing times. Visuals also have the ability to display hierarchical data, such as with dates. So for instance, if we want to look at this grant amounts and maybe see it by average of day of the month, we can look at it like this. Or maybe down here, we don't want to see the quarter information, maybe we want to view this by every year. So let's go over and look at the impact page now. So it's also very easy to change visuals. We can open up the visuals pane here on the right side, and it's very easy to change these visuals to something else to see if maybe you get more insight from a different type of graph, such as a funnel chart. Maybe we look at a pie chart or a tree map. Once again, if you don't like the way it looks, very easy to go back. There's also a way to zoom in on a visual by clicking on this focus mode. That'll allow you to see a lot more real estate, and we can see how some of these are interactive. To speak more about the interactivity, I'd like to point out that these tooltips that you see popping up when I hover over visuals are also all customizable. The bottom 2, the number of recipients and the amount, comes from just simply dragging fields into the tooltips bar here on the right. So let's exit focus mode here, go back to our report, and move on to our grant payments page. I mentioned that reports can cross-filter. This also works by just clicking on elements of a visual, and you can see how related graphs on the same page are then instantly filtered to show you relevant data. These are also instances of more measures, and they're all being controlled by these slicers here, which look different from the relative date slicer that we showed on the first page. Here, for instance, we can maybe look at all this data from paid grants by the past 12 years instead of 12 months, and we can easily switch that back. Now let's move on and look at our last page here. Here we see some information about scholarships and application counts. Let's say we want to look at more information on this guy right here. We click on it and it filters the table to see all the information about it that you've dragged into this table. We can unselect it, and this works the opposite way as well. Let's say we want to just look at one fund right here, and it'll zoom into that data point on the scatter chart. Another handy feature available will be the ability to export data from each individual visual by clicking on the Export Data button. And here you have options to export your data in either Excel or CSV format. So that was a quick tour of the Power BI reports. Let me quickly show you what we have for the paginated report viewer. If you're familiar with the GNXT report viewer, this looks very similar. It's only operating on the Power BI converted reports. So let's take a look at one. Hit run, and it'll open up the paginated report so that you can input any parameters that are needed. Just select one here quickly. Other options, let's look at the report. And once the report is pulled up, you'll have all the same options you have in Report Viewer to export and then print from PDF or other formats that you've chosen. And so that's all for my tour. I'm going to hand it back to Amy.
Great. Thanks, Mark. I'm gonna get back onto our screen. Okay. So what's next? If you are interested in elevating your reporting capabilities with Power BI as a beta customer, please reach out to me via email at astrom@npac.com. We will choose 3 customers by April 1st. We then plan on having our beta customers using Power BI in April, with the rollout to all customers by later this summer. I know what you are all thinking, what will this cost? We will provide multiple pricing tiers depending on your organization's needs during the product release. To support our commitment to documentation and training, Power BI will be no different. For its release later this summer, we will provide documentation, training webinars, and support. All of this will be on our knowledge base, including this video from today. Let's see if there's any questions in our Q&A box. We only had one about interfund transfer grants to be included in the grant totals. That interfund grants will be included. Are there any other questions? Please feel free to enter them in the Q&A box. If you have further questions, please do not hesitate to reach out directly. My contact information is listed on the screen and we can get you the answers you need. So I want to thank you all for joining us today. Remember to please reach out to me if you are interested in being a beta tester. Watch your email for further updates and be sure hello@npac.com is added to your contacts so that you don't miss anything. Thank you all for joining. Bye all.